This is insane. Palantir just hit a $200 billion market cap. But the story doesn't stop there. It's only getting crazier. Huge moves in the market, massive trading volume, and some are saying a game-changing announcement might be just around the corner. This isn't just a stock anymore. It's a movement, and you need to see what's happening next. But what am I even talking about? Well, let me explain. Disclaimer. Yesterday brought us a great gift. Palantir has officially crossed a $200 billion market cap. That's 1/5 of $1 trillion, a number that just a year ago, many people would have thought was completely out of reach. And yet here we are. The atmosphere right now is electric. It feels like everyone, from die-hard Palantir fans to skeptics on Wall Street, is talking about this milestone. There's excitement, disbelief, and of course, a lot of speculation about what comes next. But with this massive valuation comes massive pressure. People are already saying, Palantir will have to work insanely hard to justify this over the next 5 years. But if anyone can make it happen, they can. That statement hits hard because it's both a challenge and a compliment. Breaking it down, the pressure is obvious. At this size, Palantir has to keep delivering, not just with strong revenue growth, but with groundbreaking innovation. The bar is incredibly high, and there's no room for missed expectations. And now, let's be real. If we look at Palantir's current metrics, revenue, earnings, even their growth rate, it's clear the stock is trading at a premium. Some might even call it super overvalued, but that's also what makes this moment so interesting. This is the perfect time for the company to prove its worth. It's almost like the market is betting on Palantir's future rather than its present, and the company has to show that it deserves this faith. What happens next will be fascinating to watch. Palantir isn't just another stock anymore. It's become something much bigger. It's on the radar of every major investor and analyst, and the pressure to perform is immense. Everyone is paying attention now, not just to the numbers, but to the story Palantir is trying to tell about its role in the world. Whether they rise to the occasion or stumble will shape how the market views them for years to come. But here's something interesting that happened yesterday. One Twitter user pointed out that Palantir shares jumped 5% as institutional investors pushed a massive amount of trading volume into a shortened Christmas Eve session. Over 25 million shares changed hands in just the first 35 minutes after the market opened. An incredible figure considering the usual daily average for Palantir is around 111 million shares. That kind of activity on a half day is extraordinary and says a lot about how much demand there still is for this stock. These numbers are staggering. Think about it. $2 billion worth of shares swapped in just over half an hour. This isn't casual trading. It's big, calculated moves by serious players. The fact that institutions are driving this kind of volume shows there's significant interest from the smart money. They're not just holding their positions. They're actively buying, even at this elevated valuation. It tells us they probably see something long-term here that justifies the current price, or maybe even suggests it could go higher. Another user on Twitter speculated about what could be driving this surge. Could it be government contracts? Maybe the rest of the world finally realizing how unique Palantir is? Someone else chimed in, agreeing that this isn't retail traders, it's institutions positioning themselves. And then there was the suggestion that this might be in anticipation of a major announcement, something that could have leaked behind the scenes. The question about a potential announcement makes a lot of sense when you think about everything that's happened recently. Just over the weekend, we saw some major updates that got everyone talking. Elon Musk followed Palantir on X, and we also got a possibility of a huge collaboration between Palantir, OpenAI, SpaceX, and other big players in the tech world. These are the kinds of moves that get people wondering if there's something bigger happening behind the scenes. And let's not forget, ownership of Palantir stock by funds has just hit an all-time high, according to the latest disclosures. That's a big vote of confidence from institutional investors, showing that the big players are doubling down on Palantir's potential. But not everyone is convinced. Some skeptics are still voicing their doubts, like this person on Twitter who compared Palantir to Cloudflare back in 2021. For those unfamiliar, Cloudflare was hyped up as a company that could hit a $150 billion valuation within 3 years. Fast forward to today, and it's sitting at $38 billion, far below those expectations. The tweet argued that history will repeat itself and that Palantir won't be anywhere close to $450 billion by 2027. The skepticism makes sense if you consider the current valuation and how similar tech stocks have struggled to live up to their hype in the past. At the same time, Palantir fans aren't holding back against these critics. One user fired back, calling out anyone who's betting against the stock, especially now. They acknowledged the short-term overvaluation, but pointed to massive tailwinds, like the potential for government contracts under the coming administration and the sheer power of market momentum. And honestly, they might be onto something. Palantir just hit a $200 billion market cap, a milestone some longtime supporters believed was inevitable but didn't expect to happen this soon. What's even crazier is that people are saying the total addressable market for Palantir's solutions is only beginning to open up. If that's true, the current valuation might just be the start of a much bigger story. The divide between skeptics and believers is what makes this moment so fascinating. Palantir isn't just a stock anymore. It's become a battleground for what people think about its future. Whether it's a repeat of past disappointments like Cloudflare or the beginning of something truly groundbreaking, one thing is clear. Everyone's paying attention. And now, after reaching a $200 billion market cap, the community is already eyeing the next big milestone, $250 billion. For Palantir stock to hit that, it needs to climb to $101.64 per share. What's funny is how this $100 price point has sparked a bit of a frenzy within the Palantir community. One Twitter user captured the mood perfectly, pointing out that this rally isn't just about numbers. It's about a battle of supernatural forces in the stock market, the so-called Cramer effect versus the Palantir faithful. For those who don't know, the Cramer effect refers to the idea that whatever stock Jim Cramer endorses often ends up performing poorly, almost as if it's cursed. But now, with Palantir nearing $100, Cramer has tweeted his belief that the stock can actually get there. If Palantir crosses that threshold, it's almost like the community is seeing it as proof that their belief in the company can overcome even the supposed curse of the Cramer effect. The fact that this might play out within the next 6 days, before the year ends, makes the moment feel even crazier. Amid all this excitement, though, some investors are choosing to cash out and step away from the battle. One person shared that while it's tough to sell a winning stock, they see other opportunities for better returns in the short term. They also pointed out that Palantir's stock price seems to be running a bit too far ahead of the company's fundamentals, and a correction could actually be healthy for long-term growth. But here's what stands out. Even while taking profits, they still talk about Palantir's potential to become a trillion-dollar company. That's a big statement and says a lot about the belief that even after a potential pullback, the long-term trajectory for Palantir is still massive. Right now, we're watching a stock that's not just climbing. It's become a spectacle. The combination of a $100 target, Cramer's prediction, and the sheer momentum behind Palantir has created a moment in the market that feels electric. Whether this is the calm before a correction or the beginning of an even bigger run, it's impossible to look away. But what is your opinion on this? Comment down below. If you are curious to find more, then make sure to click on one of the videos you see on the screen. And with that, we come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, then turn on the notifications bell on this channel. Missing an important Palantir update might make you lose money, so don't risk it. Also, please share this video with as many people as possible. Let's get this news out there.